My name is Ikoha Ediamara, Virginia. Today I'm here to advocate for education. There is no place for ignorance. So I will be starting with the definition of education. So simply, education means teaching someone or learning from someone. It's a two-way thing. You can teach someone and you can learn from someone. That is the simple definition of education. You can also look at education as access to information, access to learning, and access to sharing information as well. So why is education important? Education is important because we need to grow, we need to develop ourselves, we need to develop our community, we need to develop our society, we need to look at ideas, share ideas, and build on ideas that will develop us as humans for us to have a better life. For instance, within the community level, if you get to see a community where you have higher number of educated people, you tend to see some changes when it has to do with their hygiene, how they properly regulate the dirt around them. You tend to see how they keep their water safe, and you tend to see how they commonly use common ideas to generate water for themselves as well to be consumed within the community. Education is important because through education we can also be able to learn each other's language and be able to communicate appropriately. Imagine a world where nobody understands nobody's language. For instance, if you speak English, you don't understand French. If you speak, let's say, Yoruba, you don't understand Hausa, or if you speak Hausa, you don't understand Igbo. Like, there is no avenue for you to have a common language that you can use to communicate. That's actually going to be a very terrible word because, of course, access to sharing information is going to be quite difficult. But for instance, because of the fact, like in Nigeria, because of the fact that we have English as a common language that we all speak, this gives us a medium to be able to communicate and share ideas and as well see the good in other people's cultures and traditions. Okay, again, for education, we know formally before enlightenment, there has been a lot of ways people dress. For instance, some people wear sackcloths, some people tie leaves around their waist to cover their body, but yet being exposed to harsh weathers and cold. So, but with the inflow of education, we've been able to access information and ideas on how to produce items that could actually protect our body, such as possibly the clothes that I'm wearing right now. So, and again, even the phone that I'm using to make this video right now was produced because of education. People came together, shared ideas, and put that idea into practice, and they were able to produce this as well. So it's important that we promote education at our own level. And my advocating point today is not just to talk about the importance of education, but how we could be able to help other people access education. For instance, if you are a person who is capable to train one person in school, it doesn't matter if you're married, it doesn't matter if you have a kid, it doesn't matter if you don't have a kid. All matters is, do you see education as something that is important to the society? If you do, then you can take it up upon yourself to say, I want to support someone from this community to be educated. Education is not about being stingy. What I mean by this statement is, if you know you are educated, then it's a call on you to also share your knowledge. Share your knowledge through resources, through sharing of ideas as well. But it's important through sharing of resources. Why do I say it's important to share resources for us to be able to foster education? Because we all know that education is not free. It requires a lot of things to be put in place. It requires time, energy, and money. So many people are not able to access education. Maybe when I talk about this type of education, I'm talking about the one that has to do with the formal education of someone attending school. Because maybe they have issues with their economic flow within their family. For instance, vulnerable children, children whom have lost their parents, their caregivers, or children who have been separated from their families find it difficult to connect back with education because they do not have somebody who can care for them. And of course, you don't expect a little child to be able to foster his own education expenses. So it is important for us as people who are educated to also share the the opportunity that we've been able to get with other people who are finding it difficult to be able to access these opportunities. That is actually the very thing that we could do that will actually show that we are educated. It's not just about you consuming it to yourself, but giving back to the society. So today I'm here to encourage you to say, please support education at any level. You can share informations, share ideas. Even if you don't have the resources, some people have knowledge on how people can access education, maybe through some other philanthropists around or through scholarships and so on and so forth. It is important that as much as we engage with each other via social media, it's also important that we share ideas on how people could be able to improve themselves as individuals, because if collectively we all get educated in the appropriate way, then we would be able to have a better community and a better society as well. And of course, who would deny the fact that he or she doesn't want to have or doesn't want to live in a society where we have freedom from being molested or freedom from poverty and so on and so forth. Lack of education has actually shows gross impact on economic downfall of societies. When you look at developing countries and countries that are already developed, you will see that much of the differences is the access to education. Specifically, the girl child education is also a very important aspect of the education that we all have to look into, right from the mindsets, changing of our mindsets towards a girl child's attendance in school, and also her importance in the society. The role a woman can actually play if she's educated cannot be overemphasized. It is very, very important that we understand that women are at the forefront of child upbringing when it comes to the family level. And of course, most children have their mothers to be the first contact, possibly of becoming their teacher while at home before exploring other avenues of learning. So imagine having a woman whom is not educated and is there to educate other children. So this can keep a society to keep moving in cycles. So it's very, very important that we look at the girl child education as something very, very serious, because women nurture children, and every man or woman was actually born by a woman. So it's very, very important that we look at girls' child education as something that is very important and crucial to the growth of our society. Thank you very much.